Okay guys, so it looks like today might be the day. We've got the amazing JVC RC-M90 right here, and she's in lovely condition. I'll just give you a very quick walk around. Only a one owner machine, this one, so she's lovely and clean actually. Just needs a general sort of polish. You can see where she's been in storage. You can probably make out just needs a bit of a polish on the aerials and a good just general sort of sort out really, and a bit of a service. Now I have to say the quality of the sound out of this thing, I mean, it's just like, let's just put some volume on.
Word with your other half just because of their behaviour or something weird they're doing. And we've got some great stories coming next after this great track.
Just wonderful. But the only problem with it is the tape drags a bit. So what happens is it plays the tapes okay, but it's really slow. So we're going to get inside today and hopefully just go in there and change the belts and hope that that's all that there is wrong with it. Okay, so just before we do crack it open, I forgot to let you see how it sounds. It's definitely not going to hit any content matches anyway. It's running, yeah, proper slow. It is turning, the take-up wheel is working okay and everything, but it's like proper slow. So let's go and see what's going on. So I've just cleaned the heads in there with some IPA, and also just clean the capstan and indeed the pinch roller as well. So you can see a lot of the gunk, well maybe you can't without focus, but there's a fair bit of gunk has come off, particularly off the pinch roller. So I think that's what it is. Although the machine is super clean, I think probably it's just the belts have probably had their life now through age. And obviously the player has been well used because there was some sort of ferrite depositing on the capstan and on the pinch roller. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to crack this open and let's see how we get on. Well, here are the screws that have come out the back casing. I think there are 10 in total, different lengths and positions. So they're quite deep set actually into the unit, some of these. So had to use the over-length screwdrivers to get into the back there. Now, just before we take the back cover off properly, it looks like there are two connectors. One which is here, which is for the speakers by the looks of it. And then the two antenna cables go to the board just there. So I think we'll get those two multi-plugs off and then the back cover should just come away. That's the back panel away. So virgin territory, this one. So original capacitors across the antennas there. That's all original. And we also have the transformer, obviously the inlet supply there with the fuse, which is a T4A. So what's that, a 4 amp slow blow fuse on there. So that's what the inside of that looks like. And then this is what the inside of the actual boombox looks like. So we've got the tweeters up there, main speakers, obviously the same for the other side. There's your radio board just there. We've then got the cassette deck mechanism there with the motor, of course, and all the control functions there as well on that board there. So not as full or as complicated inside as it might appear. The biggest issue we're going to have really is just making sure we do this safely, systematically and sympathetically, so that it looks like we haven't touched it once we've been in there. So just making sure that every screw comes out of the original hole. I've just mapped out cassette deck screws on that one, and there's the rather pretty looking ones for the back panel. So just inside now, and the multi-plugs have been undone. There's one, you can see up there. There's one, well it's actually two down there, one plus a smaller one, which is that one there. We've also undone one from the side of there as well. Yeah, I'm trying not to undo more than I absolutely have to. There's a multi-plug on the side there, which I believe still relates to the tape deck itself, so I'm hoping not to have to get that out. And yeah, the whole mechanism is now feeling loose, so I'm going to put the camera down and gently start seeing if I can wiggle this free. Okay, so the mechanism's pretty much out now. We did have to uncouple the that multi-plug in the end. So basically there's a couple up there that have gone. There's an assortment sort of down there behind, I don't know if you can see on the board at the back, just in there. Yeah, there's a few dotted around. We've left in what we can and tried not to make too much of a mess. Now, as usual, these are held together on the heads as well. So the head cables that are soldered there are still attached and do go up onto the board up here. So we'll leave them alone, but there's plenty of access anyway now, we think. In terms of the belt though, look, it's a flat belt with a toothed pulley there. And it goes onto one of the, if I can get in, let me try and find a better view, but maybe not. It's like a ball, like an eccentric pulley. There's a proper name for that, which escapes me, but it basically means that the belt will stay on. It tends to push it towards the motor rather than making it fall off. However, it has seen better days. You can see it just, basically when I touch that, it just feels dead. So no wonder it's slipping and dragging. It feels dry as a bone. It's got no elasticity. So hopefully we just got to try and find our way in. What I don't want to do is start going rip, tear and bust. And to be honest, I've never taken one of these apart before. So I'm going to do it steadily and just take apart the bare minimum required just to get the belt out. So I've just stood the mech on some polystyrene just to make sure nothing sort of does any damage to it. Now it's quite somewhat of a bit of a sandwich, this really. The belt, as you can see, is right in the middle. I'm loath to kind of go in right from the front end with all of this. So I'm hoping what I can do is get the corner screws off the circuit board, because it does look, now I can see what I'm doing, that should lift the board away. And if the board then lifts away, I'm hoping that I can separate this plate. There's two posts there. I'm hoping, if you can see the screws there, look. So basically you want to get the board off, which will give me access to these screws, which then gives me access to remove that plate, which then allows me to get to the top of the flywheel to get the belt off. That's the plan. So let's try that. So I thought I had it. I've uncoupled the 4 screws with the tags to try and remove the circuit board. It was doing so well. We've got access potentially to one screw there, another screw at the back there. Unfortunately, there's another one, which is, if I can even find it now, just on down there, and I can't get to that because I can't move the circuit board out quite far enough. And the reason I can't move it out quite far enough is we've got another cable coming all the way through, which actually ends up, if I can get in there, through there. But I might be able to actually, hang on, sorry, the cam works terrible, but that screw, it's not coming into focus, but basically that little circuit board there, I think if I can unscrew that, I'm hoping there should just be enough clearance to have that away, which may well give us access to remove the circuit board here, which will give us access to that screw down there, which will give us access to remove this. Right, let's keep going. Okay, well, being slow and systematic paid off actually. I didn't need to disconnect that one in the end. We just about got away with it. We managed to make just enough space. So, yep, with the PCB slightly out of the way, it just allowed us to access some of the screws for this metal mounting plate here. Now, that's the second layer of the sandwich, because now that is now loose enough for us to be able to get the belt off. So there's the main drive belt. We've got the other belts actually in the way anyway at the moment, because let me just come back through So that won't slip off and away until that belt there has also been removed. It feels like it's okay, so we'll probably take that off and just check it, and I'm sure I've got one the right size anyways. So anyway, well, let's get these two belts off and see how we get on. And just like that, the belts are off. So basically it's just being slow and methodical and working our way down through the layers, but the actual belts themselves are very simple in that respect. The main drive belt, by the way, is well, it kind of feels just, I don't know, dry. It's not perished per se. It just feels like it's it doesn't feel like it's rubberized anymore, put it that way. It feels like it's just dry and got no real stretch in it. I think it's just given up the ghost. So it's not even that big. So I'm hoping that I've got one in stock. So next thing then, let's go and have a rummage through the belts, see what we've got. So the old belts are off. New belts are on or in. And yeah, so now we just need to carefully put it back together, starting with these three. Then we get these four in to get the PCB mounted back on. So just by using the screw templates to make sure that everything's gone exactly where it came from. The cassette deck is now reloaded back in. I use that bit of polystyrene just as a little board to stand it on, so we didn't put any undue stress on any of the mounting points. So as I say, all of the actual original screws to the deck are now in there, so that's all good. All that remains now is to reconnect all the multi-plugs. I'll probably refer to some of the photos I've taken just to make sure that the routing is exactly as it used to be, and then we'll get it plugged in and try her out. There she is, all neat and tidy, plugged back in and hopefully ready to go. All that remains are the two old belts down there. Now obviously I need to plug it in and test it now, but the transformer and everything are in the back cover, so I need to just go ahead and reconnect that first, and then we'll be able to put a tape in. Just a super quick random insertion video here. I've just done the sign off for this video, and as I was looking at the volume control, it was a tiny bit crackly. So I'm just going to put a bit of switch cleaner into these pots just to, whilst I'm here. It's a 2-minute job. It's super easy to get to, and that'll take any future crackle out of the pots, give them a nice clean. Then the back can finally go on and the job is done. Okay, we've hooked up the voltage there onto the orange multi-pin, and we've also just put the antennas onto the board as well, so we can double check the radio. So I've just hooked her up to the mains electricity supply. So first things first, go to function and we'll just test the radio. No, we won't. First thing we'll do is turn the volume down and press the power. So we're going to be super gentle with this. There we go. Right, okay, something happened with the tape then. So radio. There we go, good. So the radio is working okay. How about the tape? So tape, eject. Of course I forgot to get one, didn't I? So 1 second, I'll come back and get one. In all my excitement, I forgot to get a tape ready. So anyway, here's one going in. Oh, fingers crossed, here we go. Play. There we go. Beautiful. Stop. Fast forward. Stop. Play. Nice. Stop. Effect review. Beautiful. And you can see the tape counters working as well. So everything's gone back where it belongs. I'll just stop that a moment. Fantastic. Good. So yeah, not a massive job necessarily, just quite a systematic one. And they often say, don't they, that a large job is really just a collection of smaller ones. So as long as you take your time and be methodical, it's not such an onerous task, and I'd certainly not be not too concerned about ever having to do it again. So yeah, that's fantastic. Incidentally, today's my birthday, so when I bought this, the radio worked and the tape didn't work, so it was hanging over my head a little bit, and that's why this video has been a bit sketchy. It hasn't been all done on tripods and taken a couple of days to produce. I've literally spent this the morning just doing this whilst I'm on my own on my birthday before my girlfriend gets home to celebrate the rest of the day with me. So anyway, the great news is I'll just screw the back onto this, give her a wipe down, and then we'll have some tunes for tonight for my birthday celebrations. So that's fantastic. Anyway, thanks very much indeed for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and do subscribe, hit the notifications bell. I've got a whole pile of other JVCs, M60s, 70s, all sorts of stuff. So personal stereos, 8-track things as well. So yeah, it'd be great to have you along. So thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon. Goodbye.